So have you been forgiven? You may say, of what? What do I need to be forgiven for? Another question to ask you is, do you believe in the afterlife? And you may say no, to which I would say, do you believe in the scientific impossibility that nothing created everything? You know, this morning I look at these 4 or 5 story buildings or so, you know, as I'm going about this morning, and if I was to look at one of those buildings, or for that matter, one that's taller, because there's a lot of them that are rather tall, but if I was to look at any given building or a house or whatever, and if I was to ask you, well, does that building have a builder? And you would say, well, of course it has a builder. What building does not have a builder? I would ask you the same thing about a kitten or a dog or a person, any animal, grass, trees, whatever. Do those not also have a maker? Do those also not have maybe a builder or a creator? Or did they just come out of nothing, coming out of nowhere from no one? So it's something just to think about. If, you know, if you do happen to be claimed atheism and you do happen to claim evolution as the way of things coming about. Just some thoughts. And then also, another question, if indeed you do believe in the afterlife, or if maybe now you believe in the afterlife, I don't know. Do you believe that you're going to heaven? And you may say yes, because a lot of people do believe that they're going to heaven. And then I would say, why? And you may say, well, because I'm a good person. And my question then would be, but are you now? Have you ever told a lie? What does it make you? It makes you a liar. Have you ever stolen anything? Ever taken anything that's not yours? Make you a lying thief? Based on God's 10 Commandments. And we can go throughout the other 10 Commandments. And I would ask you, if you stood before God and God's judged you by his 10 Commandments, I mean, the question is, how many of them would you be guilty of? How many of them would I be guilty of? Would we be, just based on that, sentenced to heaven or to hell? Because hell is a real place. And ultimately, it's a place that we choose or don't choose. And I know there's some people out there who don't believe that, but that's okay. It's not something that God chooses. He gives us a choice to choose Jesus. Because Jesus came and died on the cross for us. So that we didn't have to go there. We accept it. We have to